And welcome back, all you degenerate old schoolers, to another episode of The Orb. Tonight's match is just a funsy match. I'm playing Michael. Let's take a look at these decks. And here's a look at Michael's deck for the evening. This is serious control bots. He does have one kind of real funsy card in there, and that is Mana Clash. And Mana Clash, both players flip a coin. If it comes up tails, you take a damage. And everyone keeps flipping until both players come up with a heads. Kind of tricky to do online. You can always roll dice. Coin flip is sometimes hard to see on the webcam, but A for effort with Mana Clash. I don't think I've had one played against me. We'll say possibly ever. So I love seeing it in this deck. But the rest of his pile is a very serious control bots. He has 4 Triskelion, as his only real creatures out there. He has 4 copy artifact to make extra Triskelion. A play set of counter spells, a play set of bolts. He wants to just control the board, throw down one of those mana vaults, and dump that mana into a Triskelion, or Brain Geyser, or Earthquake if he has to clear the board. This deck is looking real good here. His other points are in a Wheel of Fortune. He does have 2 books out there, 1 Mishra's Factory, a Soul Ring, a couple Moxins, and then his sideboard, a couple Blood Moons, extra Earthquake, Disintegrates for those pesky regenerators, Red Elemental Blast, Blue Elemental Blast, and some spicy white cards. Disenchant, always popular. We can see he's playing with 1 Tundra, 1 Plateau, and a full city playset of City of Brass to be able to cast the white stuff, and 1 COP red, so no one likes red. We know that much. And let's take a look at my deck. And here's a look at my pile. It's the Goblins, Mana Barbs pile I've been showing off. Blood Moons probably won't do a whole lot here. And good thing he has that COP red. That's why everyone hates red. This is just one of those extra reasons. So let's get on to game number 1. And here we go with game number 1. Michael's on the right there on the red playmat. I'm still slinging cards on the counterspell playmat. Won the die roll and fire down a mountain. Pass off to my opponent. He plays a City of Brass. Pings himself for 1, goes to 19. Oh, look at this. Plays a Mana Clash. Here we go. We're going to start flipping coins. So I went and located a coin, and here we go with flips. I take 1 to the face from Mana Clash. Go down to 19. My opponent does not take 1, and we flip again. Yeah, kind of tough to see. We both have heads. So Mana Clash is done. We're putting our coins up for another time. But I do kind of love these little side effects or side games that that old school Magic has. I tap 2 mountains and chuck down a copper tablet. Make them pay the price every turn. And it does a little damage back to me too. So, have a wee little taste of some Yingling. Michael drops down to 18 in his upkeep from the copper tablet. Fires down a Tundra. Taps that city again. And double Mana Vault. Ooh, tapping both. Here we go, Triskelion. Nothing like a good second turn 4/4 beater on the board. Bad news for him. He's going to take a little bit of damage with those tap Mana Vaults. He passes to me. I'm down to 18, getting pinged away from my own copper tablet here. Ooh, just throwing some cheese to the face here. And he's just unloading trike arms back into my face. I guess I threw it as trike. So I go to 15. And he's down to 4-4. So I think he should have taken 3 damage. 2 from each of the mana vaults and 1 from... or 1 from each of the mana vaults and then, 1 from the tablet. With the bolt coming in, he's down to 11. Now going down to 10. He is untapping 1 of the mana vaults. Still takes 1 damage from another and another damage from this tablet. Man, this game is flying by. He got that big body threat down, but it did not last. I still have 5 cards in hand. And look at this. Gonna chuck another bolt to his face. End of his turn. I go to 13 in my upkeep. It's 13-5. I still only have 2 mana out, but this game is hauling balls. So, pass back to him. He goes to 4 in his upkeep. Doesn't tap his other mana vault. Has up to 11 mana next turn. Once everything's untapped. I mean, and that's not good. He does have a strip mine for me. But I chuck a bolt to his face. Yeah, I'm down to 1 mountain and 1 copper tablet. Bad news for my opponent is he's down to 1 life. So, a minor head cold will take his life away from him and doesn't have an answer. Copper tablet in for the win. Look at that. He did have a fireball. He was like a turn away from being able to apply all that heat straight to my face. Quick game number 1. We'll swap out some cards and take a look at game number 2. And here's a look at game number 2. Michael's on the play, fires down a volcanic island. And a pass. So, no more turn 1 mana clash. I stick down a mountain, followed by a ruby. And a black vice. I pass off with 5 cards in hand. My opponent takes 2 from the vice, goes to 18 in his upkeep. He finds an island, shows it to me, puts it back in his hand, plays a City of Brass, taps it, goes to 17. Here we go, COP red. The bad news is I do all my damage, almost all my damage, with red spells. So unless I can keep 7 cards in his hand, I might be in some trouble here. Yep. Throwing some cheese to his face when he's not looking, or I guess he's looking, but he's all tapped out, so he goes down to 14, and I have no follow-up. I just pass with 4. Black Vice deals another damage. He's down to 13 now. Look at this. Throws down that island he was showing me last turn with a Mox Sapphire. And he just sits back with a bunch of blue open. Oh, that is not a dirty old set stroll, my friends. That is one of those mana barbs. Printed for the Germans. Yeah, it's mana barbs with a set stroll across it. So, oh, look at this. He's answering it, though. He's playing out a Soul Ring. He's not going to tap any land. No need. So, taps his Sapphire, plays out a Soul Ring. He's 4 cards in hand, so he's under Vice. Look at this. I'm tapping 3 lands. And I'm playing out one of those pain in the ass Mountain Yetis. They can walk through snow. It avoids all the white spells. Protection from white. Problem is, it doesn't really avoid the COP red. So, my opponent taking another damage from City of Brass. He's down to 11 now. Oh, absolutely. I remind him that City of Brass actually costs him 2 to the fucking face. 1 for the mana barbs, and the 1 for the city. And look at this. Answering the Yeti. He turns that Yeti straight into a charred ape. Oh, now I'm taking another 3. Mana Barbs is doing work. Look at this. Second Mana Barbs. Quite the dangerous game. Anyone tapping a land is going to take 2 damage straight to the face. I have kind of the Camel Clutch lock on him. Double Mana Barbs with a Black Vice. He's going to not want to tap anything, but look at him go. He is tapping 1 island. And, oh, brutality. He's playing down double copy artifact. That's kind of a nightmare. Looks like he's doing it straight to his Soul Ring. Oh, no. 1 to the Soul Ring, 1 to the Sapphire is what he decides. So now he's got 2 Soul Rings out there and 2 Mox Sapphire. So he did empty his hand out a bit there, and now he can produce pretty much all the mana he wants to. Except he can't make red. That's his only downfall. And I'm okay with that at this point. Yeah, tapping 2 Soul Rings, and look at this, getting a book down. The book's kind of dangerous, though. I mean, he does have a ton of mana, but he's going to have to empty his hand or keep it below Black Vice damage levels. So I play out a Goblins of the Flarg. And yeah, he decides to Blue Elemental Blast it. He showed me the card, and he blew it right up. So my lock didn't work so well, especially with those all those copy artifacts on board. But my opponent's drawing cards, using his book. I mean, at this point in the game, you do want the card advantage. Brutality. Tap 6, throws down a Triskelion. This is not good for me. I do come up with a Soul Ring of my own. I'm on 14, but him smashing in for 4 a turn is not a good trade-off. And all those mountains in play are pretty much just show ponies at this point. I do not want to tap them. Yeah, Triskelion smashing in for 4. It's even more terrifying of course, he has the 3 counters on it that come flying off at any given time. Look at this, tapping 6 again, second Triskelion. So now he can deal up to 6 damage. Smash my face in anytime he wants. Yeah, show him that I don't have shit. And pack this one in. Triskelions are going to take it next turn. We are 1-1. So let's take a look at game number 3. And we're off to game number 3. Battle of control bots versus goblins. So I just lost. I get to fire down a Taiga, followed by a Ruby into a Goblin Balloon Brigade. So 1-1, tap a red. This goblin gets flying. Balloon brigades are pretty badass. Goblins, who you wouldn't expect to be making balloons, these are the smart ones. They've overcome gravity. Michael finds, oh Jesus, that's a kick to the nuts. He finds Mishra's Factory, and I have my Blood Moons in to shut off some of his land. I know he just wants to make red anyways with most of it, but that Blood Moon does take away a point from him, the Mishra's Factory, and just turns it into a nice pretty mountain. And look at this, he plays out his second mountain. It's almost like he's on mono red. City of Brass not doing shit for him. Oh, he packs it in. Decides to play out an island. And just a quick pass back to me. So he's still got a full grip of cards, 7 in hand. I deal some damage and play down a copper tablet. So he's down to 17 in his upkeep. There's that other mountain. Thing just looks like a City of Brass. It's only tapping for red. Passes to me. I take a point from the tablet. Stick in for 1. Balloon Brigade comes through. And Michael's worst nightmare. Getting tracked down by a Sasquatch. So he power sinks it. Yep. Sasquatch to the bin. Mountain Yeti does not make it on the table. Power sink prevails. But he's down to 15 life. I only have 2 cards in hand. Yeah, Balloon Brigade just keeps poking in here. Pass it off to him. He takes another point from the copper tablet, down to 13. He says, get the fuck out of here, Goblin Balloon Brigade. Fireball for 1. And he finds another mountain to play out. I answer back with the Goblins of the Flarg. 1/1 Mountain Walker out of the dark. I'm going to go dance all over those mountains he has. So, yeah, Michael touches all his lands for good luck, throws down yet another mountain, and finds a Triskelion. 3 glass counters on top of him. Those tricarms will come flying off at any given time. Yeah, go to 16 on my upkeep. Oh, look at this. Yeah, Goblin Grenade smashes in for another 5 damage. And he goes to 7. I think we had a little chat about the goblin being sacrificed as part of the casting cost. I discard a Shatterstorm and another Goblin Grenade. Michael's got a grip of cards. I saw he has a Power Sink. A Disenchant. But all he has is plains and mountains. I'm sorry, all he has is islands and mountains out there. So I fire down another mountain and a Soul Ring and pass back to my opponent. So that Copper Tablet's still doing some heavy lifting, poking in for another 1. He's down to 6. Uh-oh. He's counting up his lands. That's never a good feeling. Yeah. Triskelion turning sideways. I go down to 12. Yeah. Michael keeps hovering above those mountains of his. He's counting again. Yeah, I fear he might have a Fireball, followed by more Tricarms to the face. I mean, he could Fireball for 6. Add in another 3 with the Tricarms. Oh, even worse. Copy Artifact out in Triskelion. Looks like he's fireballing for 3. Dealing 6 to the face with Triskelion arms and a bolt. That's it. Game number 3. Control Bots wins it. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the games, Michael. Have a good night.